Hi, my beautiful loves. Well, today's topic is unbelievable. This is nuclear power. This is the most incredible tool I could ever teach you about. The cost of loss or facing loss talk. You know, uh, it really helps you get to where you want to be in relationships. I want to start with a quote by Hillel. And the quote is, if I am not for myself, who will be? I'm going to say that again. If I am not for myself, who will be? Yeah, yeah. We have to be there for ourselves because if we're not, no one else will be. So let's drill down into the nuts and bolts of this thing. First of all, you want to be sure you're not in a violent situation. That's a whole different ball of wax, which needs to be discussed with your coach. But let's say it's time to take the first step in telling your partner or a slacker kid or a frenemy or an addict who's in your lives what it will be like to live life without you in it. you know so you start by calmly telling your partner or this frenemy that the two of you have to have an in-person talk and that it's very important. Now, when you get together, the facing loss conversation will have three simple parts, but these parts are done with no drama. Drama weakens your position. Emotionality makes the whole thing seem unreal, like you're giving idle threats. Idle threats are given with a lot of emotion. This is serious, absolutely serious, quiet, and to the point. You're quietly and firmly taking a stand for yourself. Period. End of story. So there are three parts of the cost of loss talk. Number one, you state your commitment to giving yourself a relationship that fulfills your needs. This is very important. So if you're dealing with a guy, you would say, you've decided to give yourself a committed, lasting love relationship or a relationship where you are really happy and truly fulfilled. And you would like that relationship to be with him because he's so wonderful in so many ways, and you're going to delineate how wonderful he is, right? Which shows that, this is not an idle, angry threat. And then two, you're going to state what the problem is without blaming him. You want to avoid starting a fight. So for example, you could say, we fight much of the time, or we're drifting apart, or we're not moving toward a committed love relationship. And then finally, number three is you're going to explain the cost of loss actions that you will take if there is no change, if things don't really change. So, um, you know, if he can't step up to the plate and work on himself or learn how to be close and committed or move in together or get engaged, whatever the goal is, then that is sad and unfortunate, you're going to say, because you will be either moving on or dating others or cutting off all contact, et cetera, et cetera. Later on, we'll talk about the different distancing actions you can take, you know. And you want to tell him this as a simple matter of fact. It's a decision. It's a decision you've made for yourself. It's not a threat. And again, it's not about the dramatics. It's not part of your usual give and take or conflict or fight, right? So here are three examples of a facing loss talk that follow these three simple steps. So here's one. My commitment to myself is that I will be married and have children, and it's time for me to take action. I would love to have that with you because we would make an unbelievable team and be great parents together. You are a generous and kind person and would make the best father, but you said you don't want marriage. So if it can't be with you, I am going to do it with another man who can be a great teammate and father to my children. Even though I love you, if you simply cannot or will not do it, I am breaking up with you completely. I am taking all my things out of your apartment and you will not be seeing me again. Okay, so that's one example, right? Very powerful, very, very, very powerful. Here's another example. You've grown in so many ways, and so have I in this relationship, but we fight so much that I end up crying and depressed. I feel beaten down. So I have decided that I'm giving myself a respectful and loving relationship. And that's what I need from a lover. When you are kind, you feel that need better than anyone. But there are too many moments that are just the opposite. I need someone with more self-control, which is not something you are working on. So I'm sad to say I will not be helping you with your business anymore. So there's another way of moving away if you've been helping with their work or business. I will not be helping you with your business anymore. I will be sleeping in the other bedroom and will start looking for an apartment this weekend. So once again, you feel the gravitas of this. You feel this, how powerful this kind of statement is, right? And here's a third example of a facing loss or cost of loss talk with a guy who's not fulfilling your needs. I need to feel special and chosen, and you are saying that you are not sure that you love me. I have decided I am giving myself a relationship with a man who is in a deep adventure of love with me. That is my intention. So you know, she's actually putting in her love intention. That is my intention for my life, and I'm going to fulfill it. I would love it if you could be the one. We have the best chemistry, and you really help me open up in bed in so many ways. But if you're still not sure about us as a couple, I totally accept that. I will find a man who is crazy about me, so I will be going back on eHarmony, and I'm going to be dating other guys. Bang. So you see, you get the drift, you get the tone of cost of loss talk. These are powerful presentations where you're saying your truth. You're totally speaking your truth from your gut, from your soul, from your heart, right? And it's actually allowing the person to possibly rise to the occasion, right? Now, let's say you're dealing with a frenemy or a slacker or an addict in your life. You know, you can amend these kinds of statements just, you know, as you need to. I actually just did this with an old friend who had morphed into a frenemy in my life. My friend, I've known her for decades. She's a very world-renowned therapist, you know, and I've been very good to her. I've helped her with publishing her book. I've helped her with some issues she had with her son. And recently I asked her for a very simple favor, which she declined. And I got this terrible feeling in the pit of my stomach. Terrible, terrible, terrible. Because her not playing tit for tat, her not being a friend to me had gotten to be a pattern, you know. She seemed to become competitive with me and somehow viewing me as so much more successful than she is, that I don't really need anything. And it was just feeling very bad. That's how you know that a person is a friend of me, because you get that feeling in the pit of your stomach. You feel bad when you interact with them. They consistently fail you. They're not a good friend to you, right? So I gave her a cost of loss talk. You know, I said, you know, I'm committed to having this number one statement, what your commitment is. I'm committed to having only great, mutually uplifting friendships in my life. Right. And then you talk about what's happened, how it's not happening in this relationship. So I said to her, you know, we used to have that kind of a friendship, and I always dreamed of it becoming better and better, but instead it has gotten worse. Right. And you have failed me. You have failed me lately whenever I need anything from you. You have failed me. And then, of course, the ending of the cost of loss talk is what's going to happen if there is no change. So with her, I actually said, if you cannot step up, I will be withdrawing from our friendship and will not be contacting you in any way, or texting or calling or anything, because I need to have great friendships that are uplifting for me. And I'll tell you what happened. She said, whoa, 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 whoa. Please, please, please let me make it up to you. Now, this doesn't always happen, right? But even if it doesn't happen, you feel good taking a stand for yourself with people who are messing with you, who are treating you as less than, who are not appreciating and respecting and caring for you the way you are towards them. So now we're going to get into the facing loss action steps, sorry, that you can take if the person does not immediately rise to the occasion. Sometimes they immediately rise to the occasion. Sometimes it takes them a little while to rise to the occasion, because they have to understand that you're mean business. So this is how you, excuse me, this is how you show them you mean business, Following through on the facing loss talk is imperative, right? It's really imperative for your own self-love, your own integrity, your own self-protection, right? You don't want to allow yourself to endure further pain, disappointment, or wasting your time with people who are dragging you down. So instead, you want to absolutely follow through on your cost of loss talk and show that you mean business. So I'm going to go over 13 different steps you can take to back away from your partner or from a relationship. And once again, it's not about making angry or idle threats. It's just solid moves in the direction of the impending breakup, right? So this backing away falls along a continuum of possibilities, from not texting to total separation. You can start with the first steps or further along as you see fit and the circumstances demand, So for example, if he's distanced himself, but he expects to see you Saturday night, you cancel the date. Or maybe you tell him you won't help him with his project or run his errand. If the relationship has deteriorated to the point where he stopped being affectionate with you or stopped having sex with you, you can tell him you'll be dating other men. If you're living together, you can sleep in another room, and so on. The point is that you must show him that what he'll be losing. You're going to show him what he will be losing when you're completely gone. And in order to show him, you must follow through. Okay, so here are the steps on the fear of loss continuum. 1, stop texting, emailing, or phoning him. 2, cancel dates. 3, spend time away from him that you would usually spend with him. So it's kind of shocking. Like you usually, have this Saturday night routine and you're gone. You're not there. 4, be less available for help when he needs it. You're not at his beck and call. 5, be less affectionate. That can translate big time. 6, stop having sex. That's very powerful. 7, tell him you will be dating others. Remember, we're only doing this if you're not in a violent situation. If you're in a violent situation, that's completely different. But assuming you're not in the violent situation, you can tell him you will be dating others. 8, you can stop sleepovers. 9, if you're living together, sleep in the next room. 10, if living together, leave and spend a night at a nice hotel, which is great because you're loving yourself up and taking care of yourself. 11, if you're living together, start packing your stuff or his stuff. That's a very clear signal. 12, if you're living together, either you move out or ask him to move out. And of course, 13, cut off all contact with him, all contact, you see? So you're showing him what life is like without you, right? And now, how do you figure out which steps to take? You really have to follow your own intuition in taking these actions. If it's extremely difficult, you just do it one day at a time. And so you think, just for today, I will have no contact with Joe. Or just for today, I will switch any thoughts I have of Joe to thoughts of appreciation for myself or my coach. Or just for today, I'm going to put my attention on appreciating other men, right? Very powerful, very, very powerful. So day by day, you will make progress. And each day you don't have contact, you're building a bridge. One day you'll look back and see that you've actually somehow crossed the river, right? And there is a possibility that maybe he's coming across that bridge to find you. It happens quite often. As I say, sometimes not immediately. It may take weeks or months, where he experiences this aha, where he's like, oh my God, I lost the best thing that ever happened to me. Meanwhile, if you find you're backtracking into obsessing about him, consider an email or text purge so you can't go back and overanalyze your communications with him. And in general, avoid people, places, and things that remind you of your ex, because they can weaken you so that you get back to pursuing him, which is, you don't want to fall into that. If you're the one doing the pursuing, chances are he's not ready to rise the occasion because you've fallen right back in his lap. And so it seems like you're not serious about absolutely requiring change. You can't just fall back in his lap. He has to step up, right? So many times guys will rise the occasion and they will make a new commitment to giving to you. They may go into therapy, they may quit drinking or quit drugs, go into AA or NA. They may rise to a new commitment, get you a ring. It happens quite a bit in love relationships. You would not know how often this happens. This is a kind of natural, normal thing, because healthy couples, they actually consider the possibility of loss. They really, really, really do, which is why they can't take each other for granted. They can't just, treat each other like crap, because sayonara, baby, sayonara. So this is very important. You screw up your courage, you take a stand for yourself. And of course, with frenemies or slacker kids or addicts, they can rise to the occasion too. It's not often that it's very quick with them. Sometimes you really have to hang in there and show you mean this business of, detachment and distance. But they can rise to the occasion, right? But no matter what, the interesting thing about taking the stand is that your own self-respect, your own self-love grow. It's like, wow, I can't believe I did that. I had the balls to actually take a stand for myself, to stare down loss, to stare down loneliness, to stare down abandonment. And I took a stand, and I love myself for that. I absolutely love myself for that, and that lays the groundwork for you to find someone who will really come through for you, because you're coming through for yourself. You have to be a great friend, a protectress, and a mother to yourself first and foremost, right? If I'm not for myself, who will be? If I'm not for myself, who will be? And I can share with you that over the course of several decades, I have done cost of loss talks with Sam. And meant it, absolutely, absolutely meant it. And he rose to the occasion. He rose to the occasion. It wasn't easy. It was not easy, but I took a stand for myself. I used straight talk about what I needed. At one point, he wasn't supporting my work, which was very important to me. My inner child needed a lot of support because my family, and particularly my father, belittled anything I did. And I really needed that kind of reparenting from him. And I said, I need you to really really validate my work. And if not, I'll find somebody else. But that happened to be very, very, very important to me. That happened to be super important. And lo and behold, he stepped up and he started showing videos. We used to give lectures at to therapists, and he started showing my work. Of course, I had releases for all the work, and he would show my work and he would talk about how brilliant I was being. And I tell you, that was so healing for me. That was so incredibly healing. It really, really was. First, having the courage to take a stand for myself, and then getting that reparenting that I deeply needed, deeply, deeply, deeply needed. So, over time, this one or that one may not rise to the occasion and grow as a person, in terms of meeting your needs. But over time, you will get that from someone because you are telling the universe that this is what you need and this is what you're getting it. And this is a commitment you're making, right? You're making it aloud. You may be making it to a current person, but you're actually also making it to the universe. So the universe will provide over time. Anyway, I salute you. You guys are courageous and amazing. And I love you guys. And we'll talk soon. Love you. Bye.